Well, hello, my beautiful Taurians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career or money reading for the end of May right through the end of June 2024. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Taurians, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Taurians? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to be aware of regarding their career sector? Can you please show them the way? What are they meant to be aware of future changes or anything that is coming up for them that they can connect to and help with their prosperity and abundance? Please show them what they are meant to see at this time regarding their career and money. We have the Sun card. We also have the Magician card right now. So this indicates a lot of energy, tenacity, drive, and focus for your career over the next coming weeks and months. Also, I feel you're going to see some major growth in your career path. So I feel some of you may have felt that you've been wasting your resources in a position. So you may be actually looking for something new. If you're feeling unfulfilled in some area of your career, you may have felt like you've outgrown a situation. You may feel that you have reached a plateau in some area of your life and it's time to level up. Now, this can mean that you're actually putting your resume out there to find new opportunities to move into, or it could be that you've come as far as you can in the role that you're in and now it's time for expansion. So if you work for a company, it could be that you're being offered a promotion or a raise there, because we do have the Emperor, which means some sort of new position becoming available to you. But also, if you're an entrepreneur, it could indicate that you are expanding. You're strategizing to launch something new connected to your business. It could be like an off branch of something in order to expand there. So I feel the next coming weeks and months are going to be very productive for you. I definitely see this energy of busyness. They want this card first. Got the Page of Wands, yeah, implementing new ideas, projects, feeling bold and daring. Ace of Swords, a real breakthrough happening in your career here. I mean, some of you may also have an idea that you've kept on the back burner for some time. Now, this could be something that you're thinking about changing about your current career path, or changing something that perhaps you do day to day, and it kind of revamps the way that you work. For some of you, it could be that it's an idea to set up or launch a new business. It's a real breakthrough. It's a plan. It's a, some sort of mental clarity that you have regarding a project, and suddenly you're involved in it and it's really exciting. Okay, so let's see what else is coming out there for you. We got the Ten of Swords, 2 tens. This indicates that something difficult is coming to an end. You may be embarking on something new. So some of you have definitely ended an old cycle of repeat, or you are walking away from something. We've got the Devil card there as well. Let me just pull another card on that, because the Devil card, it's not an evil card. It basically means you are identifying an area where you've been feeling a little bit stuck or stagnant in your career sector, and may have been on your mind a little bit, and you're going to really, push forward with your passions and make it work for you. The Star, yeah, it's all going to be good for you. I definitely see that there is some changes afoot, but I also see that they will be beneficial for you long term. Now, let me just put that over there, and here, let's get straight to your cards. I mean, I feel this is a highly energized month for you, very productive, setting new goals, definitely looking at the trajectory that you're on and tapping in with how you're going to grow through your career sector. But as you can see here, this flower has like blossomed to the point where it's like suddenly there's nowhere else to go. So I feel for some of you, you may have reached a certain plateau in your career, you're ready for new opportunities or you're ready for change in some way, and you're really shining your light. You're someone who stands apart in the career sector. You really are an asset to whatever industry it is that you work in. Whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you work for a company, I feel you tend to be a maverick and you really are hardworking, diligent, and this is a card that indicates that you go above and beyond. But also this is a card of positivity. So for some of you, there may have been some difficulties in your career sector recently, or you may have felt that something was, being strategized behind the scenes. For example, new policies, changes, rules, regulations, they may be coming to the fore, and you may have thought that it was going to be actually very difficult. But now that these sort of, it's almost like creases have been ironed out a little bit, it just feels like things are a little bit easier right now. Now, don't get me wrong, I see that some of you have been feeling a little bit unmotivated for some time or had a lack of energy there, but this energy is returning for you, and I feel this is about you seeing the bird's eye view of your career sector and your strategy. So if you're an entrepreneur, for example, it's about what steps are you taking next to maintain the momentum of your career, but also to branch out. I definitely see that you are working really hard to go above and beyond to support yourself, your family, your goals, and your dreams, and you invest everything that you've got. And you've got a 10 of Cups there, which means you basically put it all in to following a path towards building a good life for good fortune, well-being, serenity, and peace there as well. And if you work for a company, for example, you may have felt that there was some, imbalance, let's put it that way, of people pulling their weight. Ace of Swords in the resistance position can indicate there's been a lot of stress, or maybe some people have been a little bit judgy recently, or a little bit cranky, shall we say, and you may have felt that perhaps people are not doing what they should be doing. There's a lot of procrastination there, and you may actually feel the shift, okay? So if you work for a company, for example, and you work for other people, there could be some sort of appraisal going on in the next coming weeks and months, which basically asks everybody, what is it that you do for the company? Let's really knuckle down, see what your goals are for the future. How can we help you? How can we support you? And what is it that is really not working for you? And actually that makes everybody sit up, because it means restructure. So when a company is really looking at the details of what their employees do, it tends to mean change is afoot. And I feel for some of you, because looking at your energy, you invest everything that you've got. You are a really hard worker. You're someone who is switched on. You're someone who is talented, gifted, passionate about what you do. You have a lot of ambition and a lot of knowledge as well. But you're not working with the same sort of people. I feel there's some people around you who are not really pulling their weight. But when these sort of appraisals start being implemented, suddenly everybody has got a fire up there, knowing that change is afoot. And it feels like they're being discovered as not pulling their weight or doing the work that's required of them. And there may be some people given the old the let go, let's put it that way. So I don't see that happening for you, my beautiful Taurians, but some of you may notice there's some redundancies or some resignations going on in the next coming weeks in a company that you work for. If you're an entrepreneur, this could be you're watching an industry where people are maybe not doing so well. I see that you will be thriving. I see that, yes, it's difficult, but I definitely see that you're implementing new ideas to keep things fresh and to be bold and daring and be that maverick. Now, overall, I get a sense here that some of you have come as far as you can in a role, okay? And it just feels like you want to bloom, blossom, expand in some way. So you could be brainstorming, doing a little bit of, working out new ideas here. Pages actually bring news. So I feel some of you are going to get some news that really inspires you, that makes you see that actually you're on the right path. There's an energy of joy about this, embracing the moment. But also the Page of Wands can be you exploring, venturing forward, putting your resume out there just to see what's about. So you may be thinking about new opportunities. And if, for example, you've come to this reading and you're currently out of work, looking for something new, I feel, there is a couple of roles coming in here for you. One has more status, okay, which of course will come with more money, but it feels very much sort of like a very secure role, okay? It feels like it has the potential to be a little bit boring, or, it won't utilize your skill set fully, but they will pay you handsomely for you giving your time, energy, and your skill set to the career, okay? But I also see there's something else coming in that is a little bit fresh, daring, new, exciting, gives you a little bit more independence, and I feel it's more in alignment with your purpose, but it feels like you're not starting from scratch. It starts with experience for you. So I feel some of you, it may be a new path that you're exploring, or you may change direction in some way if you're currently looking for a new role, okay? Because I feel like you may stay within the same sector because it's what you know, but at the same time, I feel like you're taking on something more that's exciting. It feels like, you can really grow in this role. You can really make it yours. And at the same time, you staircase, so the money will still flow towards you. You're still going to elevate into a promotion and a raise. But I feel like you'll have to make your decision what it is that you want. So for some of you, you may want the money right now and think, you know what, I'm going to take that secure role. It's great. It's going to provide me a staircase to achieving whatever it is you want to do. For some of you, it may be that, you're like, okay, the money is great, but I want to do something that's more in alignment with my passion right now. I see some of you also thinking about startups. So this could be second streams of income, or if you're currently looking for work, it could be you, taking the ingenuity to actually launch something, an idea that you've had on the back burner for quite some time. Because I get an energy here of you revisiting an idea or implementing a practice that you thought about that would really help you in your everyday circumstances. And that's for all of you beautiful Taurians, whether you're an entrepreneur, working for yourself independently, or whether that's you in a career sector where you work for other people. Now, the Page of Wands also is an energy for more independence. So some of you could be really like feeling growing pains in your career sector, where, if you work for a company where you feel like you're being micromanaged, for example, or someone is abusing their power in a situation, you may be feeling that actually you want to go against the grain. There's this energy of you knowing what you do and not needing to be micromanaged. So you may be feeling a little bit like, is this place for me? Am I like outgrowing this place? Because I get a sense of outgrowing, especially with this first card. And I never really look at this card like this because it is a sun card. So I just feel some of you have hit that level where you're like, I need something new. So I feel if you are putting your resume out there, there is going to be some exciting new opportunities that come in. One in particular is going to be the absolute right role for you. And I feel it sets you apart. You get recognized for your skill set. There's support for you, and they really utilize what you have to bring to the table of your career, and they help you grow, and they also help you sort of level up and reach the goals that you set for yourself there as well. Now, that Page of Wands also indicates that you are valuing your ideas. You're also allowing yourself to dream bold. Remember, believe and receive. So I feel with the Ten of Cups, you're trying to achieve this. Ten of Cups is the happy ever after in your career, the holy grail of an opportunity. But also, I feel some of you may even think about new ideas of launching a business with family or friends. So this could be something that you'll look into. But ultimately, the next coming weeks and months are all about peace in the working environment, protecting your well-being, implementing healthier working practices, especially since I feel some of you are really like overburdened, overworked, overstretched, and I feel like you're being really pushed to the absolute max. Okay, so I feel it's really important that you recognize that self-care is really important. And sometimes when we set a boundary and say, look, I've got a lot on right now, and I absolutely will do all this extra work, because I feel some of you have been taking on a lot extra work or extra hours, or thinking even about taking a seasonal role or something that's like temporary there, odd job perhaps even. I get an energy of you maybe extending yourself too much, or too much work being delegated upon you. And I feel just basically saying, I'll get round to it, but I've got all this other stuff to do first. It's not really you saying no, but it's also saying to the other person, look, what I'm doing right now is critical, and I'm prioritizing, and your delegation is not my priority at this time. So with respect, I'll get round to it. And if it is critical for them, then they'll either one of two things: do it themselves or find someone else to delegate the work onto. So I feel some of you are restructuring if you feel that that's a problem in your current circumstances. Now, for some of you, especially if you're an entrepreneur, there could be a family member who pops in to help you. Now, it could be that they are helping with some administrative tasks, or they just come to show their love and support and say, you know what, you're doing a really great job. Because I'm getting an image in the water right now, and this, I feel, applies to all of you, but in different ways. It's a beautiful sign, and it actually says 2 words, self-made. Self-made. So either that's you being an entrepreneur and, you know, boldly influencing a market and taking it by storm and elevating and being self-made. I mean, it could be a self-made millionaire, a self-made person, or it could be that you are, you know, if you're working for a company, for example, you know, you are rising through the ranks. You did this all by yourself. You haven't had any nepotism or any hands up or legs up the ladder or anything like that. You've done this yourself. So I feel like you really should be proud of yourself of how far you've come in everything that you've done so far. And some of you, I feel, this is not going to resonate with everyone, but it is coming through briefly there. Some of you, there may be an opportunity if you have children to bring your child to work to see what you do, because I'm getting an energy of that coming through. This could be the month or the next 8 weeks or so that you've been thinking about doing it, or maybe they have one of those days at your working environment if you work for a company, or even on entrepreneurship, you could be showing someone the ranks. Say, for example, you've established yourself. Some of you may be actually handing over part of a business to someone in your family this month. And sort of like helping them rise through the ranks, or just helping them understand the family business, so that later on, if they choose to go into the family business arena, that they are well equipped and well prepared to take over the reins, or at least manage some part of the role, so that you have a little bit more independence to go and either branch out or do something different. But there's definitely something like that coming through there as well for some of you. But ultimately, I feel this is a highly energized month for all of you, being really productive, setting new intentions, new goals, being excited about new opportunities, and also looking at where you feel your energy is drained or where you've been feeling unmotivated. Because ultimately, you can love what you do, but there may be tasks or responsibilities that you feel, ugh, I don't like that bit. Can you actually delegate that elsewhere, or can you outsource it to a third party, whether it's through like an accountant, a PA, or an administrator, or a company that does whatever it is that you want to outsource? I feel some of you are being clever. You're working smarter, not harder there as well. Now, for some of you, there could be some new contractors or new providers changed in your working environment. So if you work for a company, this could be like new computer systems or new software, even new kind of like infrastructure going on in the company. If you're an entrepreneur, it could be the same. And it feels very much like getting to grips with new technology. And I feel for some of you, it could be that like a laptop, you know, has run its course, or it's run its memory, for example, and you have to get like a terabyte or something and have an addition to it to cope with the amount of stuff you need to save down. For some of you, it could be that technology, I feel, may not be your friend 100% this month. There may be some delays in internet connections or a glitch in the system. So please save down anything that you're working on. That's coming through there as well, because when you have so many swords, you know, this tends to connect to the ether, to the air, of course. So this indicates it's in the resistance position. So it's like you got it in the reverse, you know, which can indicate that, you know, perhaps some sort of technological breach happens. For some of you, it could be security. Like it could be your working practice. If you work for a company, they do like a security breach test. They may send like a random email with a link in it, almost like a phishing email. And, you know, it's a test to see who clicks on it and how safe their firewall is, for example. And, you know, looking at you here, you're so switched on. I feel like, you know, it's a test, or you look at it and think, how did that get through? I don't see you clicking that. Okay. And for some of you, if you're an entrepreneur, this could also be like hackers. I'm not trying to make you feel paranoid. What I see here is there may be some sort of weird email or weird approach to something, and you look at it and go, that's really odd, not going to click on that. So I feel you see it. you're aware of it and you don't get caught up in it, whatever it is. So I just see that happening there as well. I feel like you're totally on it. Now, anything that's in the resistance position goes into the upright. So if you feel like you've been wasting your time in a certain role, or you feel unfulfilled in this role and you feel that you are capable of more, I definitely see you taking charge to do something about it. And this is about taking action. Some of you, if you have been feeling a little bit low energy, low motivation, or you've been feeling a little bit scattered in your thoughts, because sometimes, you know, hormones fluctuate, circumstances beyond our control get in the way. We can feel a little bit distracted. So if some of you have been going through something personal, maybe the end of a relationship, or perhaps you've been grieving someone, if you've lost someone, I'm sending you a huge hug out there. So much love. I wish I could scoot you all up in a massive hug and just hug it out, because there literally are no words to offer comfort. But just to let you know that I'm thinking of you if you're going through a very difficult time right now and struggling. Some of you may have felt a little bit distracted at work, because ultimately you may be going through something personal, whatever it is. It may not be a bereavement. It could be something difficult behind the scenes. And you're trying to keep your mind on work so that you're distracted from your personal circumstance. But at the same time, the two may have muddied and become a bit of a blur. So you may have felt like sometimes you're just like phasing out or daydreaming, or just sort of, you know, you need to focus, and it's been hard. But I feel in the month of June in particular, you're going to be completely focused. And I feel some of you may even find it's food related. So it may be something that perhaps is giving you intense highs and then crashing lows, and you're just trying to adjust and make a little bit more balance. It really affects everything, you know, from your working environment to your relationships to your body, mind, and soul. So I feel like it's really important, and you're focused on it at this time. Now, the Magician card also indicates something that you've been trying to manifest. You feel it hasn't been moving as swiftly as you'd hoped. There is a transformation there. I definitely see that whatever it is you're working towards, you will accomplish it. When you get this card, I also feel, especially since it's been in the resistance position, I feel some of you are actually in a more powerful position than you realize or give yourself credit for. You're someone who's super gifted and really talented, and sometimes you may doubt your skill set, or, you know, if someone makes a mistake, for example, you know, you may be the one who has to always sort of clear it up or find a way. And I feel, you know, you're actually in a really good position. And I mean, I get this sense here that because I'm picking up a mistake energy coming through, someone may make a mistake in the month of, well, the end of May into June, and it feels like you resolve the issue. It feels very much like you save the day, okay? And this really sets you apart. I feel like you're already someone who's really good at what you do and has a really great reputation. And if you don't feel like that, I feel you're going to see evidence of that very, very soon there. But it almost feels like something that you take control of or command in the month of May into June. It really sets you up for a promotion or an opportunity that perhaps you were not looked at for before, is what I'm seeing there. So, and, you know, and I'm touching this card, I'm actually seeing also an elevation conversation. So this could literally be like symbolic. It could be that you're going to have a conversation with someone who's in a high-ranking position in your career sector, and they give you some really great advice, but also they put in a word for you for a promotion or something, because they really gel with you in that moment. For some of you, it could be, especially if you're an entrepreneur, it could be like a chance meeting with someone in your industry who, you know, lets you know about the pitfalls they encountered or the advice that they felt really helped them, and they may even give you an maybe even an invitation is what I see. They may invite you to some sort of encounter or meeting or group or an event that really sort of opens doors for you, because I'm seeing doors being opened for you. Ultimately, you're opening the doors yourself, because I'm keep feeling this energy of self-made, but it feels like someone gives you a chance to be in the room in the first place to open the other doors that are available to you. Okay, so that's what's coming through there as well. Now, Ace of Swords, anything in the resistance position, it will go into the upright. Some of you may actually discover that someone told you a bit of an untruth in the next coming weeks. So, for example, if you're a boss, you may find out that an employee that said they were off sick was actually off enjoying a trip to the Med, for example. Or, you know, it feels very much like you discover it. You don't go looking for it. It could be that they say something by accident. So it could be like, oh yeah, when I was in Vegas last weekend, I thought you were sick. Oh yeah, well I was, but I mean, well, but blah, blah, blah. You know, when people like unravel. So I feel some of you may discover that, and I mean, some of you, if you are, not a manager yet, because I feel like some of you are working towards being in a managerial position or a position of authority with a lot of clout in an industry, I feel like you may find that your colleague actually said one thing and actually they really were like being a little bit loose with the truth. So I feel a secret is revealed this month, and I feel you're not someone who can use it against the other person, but it makes you see that you can't trust this person, you can't rely on this person. And if you were thinking about going off and setting up your own practice, becoming an entrepreneur, later on down the line, this person may actually sort of tap you for an opportunity, or they may, go for an interview if you're giving interviews, and suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, I used to work with that person, and then you know the secrets. So you're like, actually, no, they don't conduct themselves in a professional way, and they're not the right person. Because I feel like right now you're building your soul tribe in terms of your career sector as well. Now, Ace of Swords, any ideas, I've mentioned this already, that you've been having on the back burner suddenly become more relevant in the month of May into June. And this is about you forging away, basically strategizing and transforming your career sector. So new bright ideas, inspired, and I feel this is a transformation in your working environment. For some of you, you're going to hear about restructures or merges behind the scenes. Intuitively, you may have thought it was happening or it was going to happen, but you may actually hear that, for example, if your company is already partnered with another company, you may hear of like a breakaway, for example. The merge may not be working and they're breaking away. Or, for example, they're changing partnerships and they may even be changing management there as well. So I feel there is a shift happening, but I feel it actually helps you see clearer whether you really want to connect to this company any further or whether they are still in alignment with your belief system. Because sometimes mergers can happen with companies that, of course, you have no control over. However, you may feel the company that your company is aligning with is not something that you agree with, or you just feel it's not a good move, and you may decide it's time for you to leave. Because aces are actually the beginning of something, and the 10 of Swords, of course, is the end of something. So almost like there's energy here of it's not really an ending, because I feel like there's a beginning on the other side for you, but this could transpire for some of you that you're leaving a position in order to move into a promotion in the same company, or it could be that someone is leaving from your company and they're setting up on their own and they actually headhunt you and bring you to their company, or it could be that you're leaving a position to go and work for something new or someone new, or even launch up your own business, become that entrepreneur. But something is ending and something is beginning, and it's been hard. So some of you may have been truly trying to find a way to merge your skill set and upskill in some way as well, strategize in order to launch a startup, for example, or some of you may be trying to go into writing, or you're writing up a business plan right now. I get a sense here that you're having a major breakthrough. And for some of you, beautiful Taurians, you may have been a little bit unwell. You may have had a procedure, or you may have been off work for a little bit and you've been wondering about the next steps. It's actually giving you time to think, so you're not always on the go. But also, do not feel pressured to get back into the fray quickly. Make sure you listen to your body and put your own needs first, because a company, they will always put their needs first, okay? And we have to recognize that we must take ownership of our own health and put our needs first, because of course, you want to go above and beyond for a company, but also the company must be in reciprocity and actually respond and make sure that you are healthy enough to come back to a working environment. So just watch out for that if you've been a little bit under the weather recently. But ultimately, this next coming weeks and months is all about your direction. This is about you kind of judging your situation to see what works for you, what doesn't work. I feel like you're doing more of what works, of course, and kind of like decluttering anything that doesn't work. I mean, for some of you, because I'm really getting a declutter energy from this card, and it's not typical, some of you may be like clearing out a desk or clearing out a cupboard because you have a little bit of downtime. I do see that you're going to be busy, but you may have some time to do some of the tasks that you feel you've had on the back burner or that you've been meaning to get round to. This next coming weeks and months or the right opportunity for you to get to all the stuff that you haven't been able to do. I do feel like you're very serious this month about your goals and being strategized and thinking about your 5-year plans, not just your immediate circumstances. And the Judgment card is about you creating a pathway to your life's purpose and making sure that you add value and are making an impact in your career sector. But something is changing and you have a decision to make. So it could be that you've outgrown a position and you have a decision to step up into a new role, or you can coast and stay where you're at. Totally your call. If you want to challenge yourself, which I feel like you're going to take a promotion. I definitely see those promotion vibes here for you. And I feel someone in a position of authority wants you to step into this role because they feel like you're capable. And if you feel like they've been a little bit hard on you recently, I feel like they have been testing your mettle almost to see if you're capable of stepping into this high pressurized role. So you may have felt, you know what, they're being a little bit hardball, but actually from their perspective, they're seeing it that they need to make sure that you're up to the job because they're being pressurized by their boss. And you know, it's like a filtered chain there as well. Now, some of you are thinking about setting up a partnership with your nearest and dearest. If you're in a relationship, this could be something that you're thinking about, strategizing or setting up a business plan with. I mean, some of you may even work with a person that you love. And I feel this is about, obsessively following your passions, but not letting it get in the way of you and your partner enjoying quality time together. Because sometimes when you work and live and love each other, it can be a lot. It can be highly pressurized. So I feel it's really important to get the right balance there. Okay. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there. I do see that if there's been a lot of pressure on, the pressure will be eased. And I feel you and your person, you won't feel so stuck anymore. It feels like an energy of release, that both of you appreciate what each person brings to the table of the career, but also it feels like when you're in the mix of it, you're just thinking about your part. You're not thinking about their part, and they're thinking about their part. And sometimes it's like we feel our part that we're working on is the most important, and they need to gel together. And sometimes it can feel like it was out of sync, but I feel you and your person are coming into sync this month. And that's especially if you're in a business partnership. It doesn't have to be with your significant other, but it can indicate some partnership that you've been working in and there has been some pressure or some conflict there, some tension. I feel it will be resolved. So I want you to be aware of that. Now, for the rest of you beautiful Taurians, the Emperor energy is about taking charge. It's about taking action, being serious about your goals and working really hard. This is also a card that indicates you establish yourself as being someone who is very knowledgeable and really great at what you do. And I feel there is an opportunity for you to step up and, basically amplify a positive reputation that you have, but also this card indicates success, okay? This is your ability to channel your energy into working diligently towards your goals. This is a card where you're actually in a position of power. You have the traits of a leader. So if you're not a leader right now, or you're moving towards the trajectory of stepping into a leadership role, this is a promotion or an opportunity for you to step into that role and take charge. And I feel like you are someone who is really great at governing people, but also someone who understands the needs of the people that you are guiding in the career sector to make sure that all the cogs in the wheel kind of streamline and work really well together. Okay, people respect you is what I'm getting. It's coming through there. And again, I'm being given this energy of self-made. My guide said don't forget self-made. So some of you may be launching an entrepreneurship this month. Okay, it's going to be very successful. It's going to be hard work, and there are going to be moments where you obsess over it. I want you to be aware of that, especially if you work for yourself. Sometimes it's not just 9 to 5, it's 24/7. So make sure that you create a healthy way of working so that you don't burn yourself out too early or do too much too soon, okay, is what I'm being given there. But ultimately, if you're becoming an entrepreneur or becoming independent, you will be a self-made millionaire. I feel like I never say that in my readings, but I really feel that you could be like the first person in your family to become a millionaire. That's really random to come through, but that's what's come through. So some of you, really proud of yourself, but it's not all about the money. Money is important. It actually helps sustain us. It makes us feel a little bit less stressed about life and being able to eat and pay the bills and all of those things. But ultimately, it's about you growing and flourishing in your career sector and really looking at where you add value and also where you feel fulfilled. I feel that's what you're more interested in as you move through this time period. Now, the Empress energy, again, is giving birth to those ideas that you had on the back burner. And also, I mean, some of you, it could be that you are training someone up in the month of May, June, before you go on maternity leave. So if you're pregnant, for example, or even if you're going on paternity leave because you're supporting your partner there, I feel you could be tying up loose ends, but also training someone to do something that you do whilst you're away. And I feel... don't worry about things. Things will run smoothly as you take some time off. There may be some communication, however, in the first couple of weeks when you take that break, okay? Because there may be some conversations where it's like, oh, Taurus, I'm so sorry that I've called, but I just want to just check this one thing. I'm sorry to disturb you on your maternity or paternity leave, but I just want to check in with you about this thing. So you may actually get some more calls, you know, in 2 or 3 weeks that you take this leave, because I feel like someone needs to reach out because they haven't either come to grasp completely with the role, and that wasn't your fault. It just feels like, you know, there's been so much to like take charge of that they're not capable of retaining it all, and they may reach out. So expect that. That's coming through. Really random. But the Empress energy is more about owning, you know, your creativity, being very productive, and it also indicates all the stuff that you've been working hard towards, the seeds you've already sown in your career, you know, the day-to-day stuff that you've been doing, it's paying off. There is an energy here of your commitment to prosperity starting to see reward. So I definitely see this harvest time. Some of you, harvest time will be promotion. It'll be a new role. It'll be new money or an increase in finances, or maybe even a little bit of a bonus coming through there as well for you. We do have the Devil card. Some of you, if you're getting a bonus, of course, you're super lucky to get that bonus, but you know how hard you've worked for that bonus. So some of you with the Devil card, you could be like, well, I worked really hard. I thought it was going to be a little bit more, but it wasn't. So I feel there's gratitude here for everything that you got, but also you may be kind of looking at how things got split out in the company. So you could be looking at like management that got a lot more than people who worked really hard in the scale of things. So you could be a little bit disgruntled about that, and you may actually find yourself putting your resume out there to find something new. Also, the Devil card can indicate a toxic environment. So some of you may be looking at, you know, how some people feel unsupported. You may feel there's low office workers' morale right now, and it's filtering out everywhere. And with the star energy, I mean, some of you are identifying perhaps a toxic relationship in the working environment. It could be a person who likes to seize control and abuse their power, and you're just keeping an eye on it at this time. And some of you, if you're leaving a toxic environment to find a new role elsewhere, remember, you need to heal, because sometimes that can take its toll on your mental health. And you know, many years ago, I worked in an environment where people would literally scream in my face and even throw stuff. It was horrible, and that's not legal, I'm sure. But back then, there was a period where people just thought that they were under pressure, and they would say, it's nothing personal. That's how they would get out of it. It's nothing personal. Well, if it's nothing personal, why are you screaming in my face? That is you breaching my personal space. It feels pretty personal, right? So if some of you are encountering a bully or someone who is abusing their power, some of you may be documenting this to bring it to light, because this is a card that indicates it shall be brought to light. Now, it could be that you're just keeping an eye on it yourself, documenting it, and someone else brings it to light, and it's asking people to be a witness or a support in this to basically have more people come forward about this individual. That could happen, but also I feel some of you are just healing from a very toxic encounter. If you're an entrepreneur, this could be like a very toxic client, someone who basically is approaching with ego, and I feel it's really important to recognize that you don't have to deal with those sort of people, or I feel the way you deal with this person, it kind of takes the wind out of their sails, and I feel like they kind of step back, you know, is what I'm seeing there, and they respect how you deal with the situation. But ultimately, the star energy is really a brighter future to look forward to. It's a card that indicates you're aligning yourself with whatever it is you've been working hard towards. You've been wishing for something, but also you've been doing the legwork. You've been really putting the work in to make it happen and become a reality. And this is a card that indicates that you're going to be recognized for all the hard work you've been doing, but there is some sort of victory, win, or some sort of clarity that something that you've been working hard to achieve is showing signs of progress here. And this star energy indicates that you are, you know, someone who stands out. I mean, there's so much light in your reading. You've got the sun card, you've got the star. So that really indicates that, you know, you are set apart from other people. You're a maverick. You're doing something different. And again, I definitely get this energy of self-made. Okay. So if you're launching an entrepreneurship, I see it'll be really well received. I feel for some of you, I mean, the star energy can be fame. It could be you stepping into the spotlight, being an influencer. But more than anything, I've got my beautiful Taurians influencing your circumstances to change your prosperity, to work hard towards the good life, to enjoy what you do, and basically transform your career sector so that you are someone who is destined for the top and has a really great reputation for being the best at what you do. And that's going to come naturally because you're naturally gifted and hardworking there. But the next coming weeks could be very explorative, is what I see. Look, spotlight, rich, famous, definitely something about all the light in your energy. Right now, it just feels like you're having a transformation, a breakthrough. We got service. Okay, now bees tend to represent hard work, always on the go, and I definitely feel that from your energy. But also there is a reward that kind of indicates it's all worth it. And some of you are weighing up the rewards and seeing if it is worth it. And if it's not, I feel like you're seeking more reciprocity in your working environment. It says thrive in community, similar goals, do your part, benefits for all, and the sweet life. Okay, and we've also got spotlight, rich and famous, lucky break, star power, influencer, entertainer. I mean, some of you, if you're an entertainer, I definitely see a new gig or project coming in there. I'm being given an energy. If some of you are, you know, a performer, like an actor or something, you may be offered a role where you are younger than the role that is required. So you may have to age up or have some level of gravitas there. For some of you, if you're interviewing, for example, this is about you standing out from the crowd, being someone who's given an opportunity, not just because you're having a lucky break, but because you have the skill set. You're worth it. You are someone who has a lot of passion, great ideas, someone who has a dream and a goal to transform the career sector that you're working in, and it shows. So I definitely see that you're being elevated here because of everything that you bring to the table of your career. And yeah, I mean, I said it right at the beginning, and it's so interesting. Look at your numerical synchronicities and everything that's gone with it. You know, your first card there is number 19, the Sun card, and your last card is number 19, which is the Sun energy. And both cards are all about growth. So you're going to see a lot of growth in your career this month. It says here plants. So again, it's like all the seeds that you've planted in your career, ideas, you know, investment of energy. You're going to see growth. You're going to see potential. You're going to see prosperity there. And of course, this card indicates that, you know, sometimes we have to find the magic in the everyday things. You know, when you plant a seed, for example, you trust that the universe is going to help it grow. You will water it with, of course, rain or with water, and the sun will enrich it and warm it and help it to grow. It'll germinate there. That seed, you won't see it germinating, though. You can't see the potential. You can't see the, you know, the trajectory of its growth, but you trust that stuff's happening. And I feel that's what's going on in your career right now. You trust that stuff is happening. Even though you may not be able to see it, I feel like you're going to have it, whatever it is, okay? Also, what's really great about this card, and if you have this deck at home, look it up, see what it means, because if my memory serves me well, I really feel that this card indicates that you're the sort of person who can make something from nothing. And again, it really connects to that self-made energy. And I got true chills here because it's really a positive energy where something that you may think is small, whether it's an idea or whether it's like a first step, it's going to grow into something really exponential and so successful. And of course, there is a lot of respect that goes with it as well. Okay, so really excited for you. Just going to go and get a trinket or a room before we close. Okay, so we've got 2. We've got a wing here, so that indicates that you are protected. During these times, you're being elevated and your guides are helping you in your situation. There is also a lucky break being offered to you at this time, but it's because you're ready for it, okay? And also we've got the fairy godmother sitting on the moon there. The moon represents uncertain times. The star is there as well, which indicates a wish being delivered. And of course, that fairy godmother is indicative of you receiving a wish or something you've been working really hard towards. So it really connects to the star energy there. I would say, you know, dream big, dream bold, make that wish. Put one foot in front of the other and watch it happen. I really feel like things are taking off for you, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you, my beautiful Taurians. I know it's difficult times, but I see that, you know, you're powering on through. If something is relevant and resonates, please like or subscribe to my channel. It's completely free. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Also, some of you have reached out to me to say that you're not getting notifications. I addressed it with YouTube, and they basically said that everybody needs to go to their settings in YouTube and click the notifications button. Make sure it's on, but also make sure that you subscribe and click the notifications button on the person's channel that you're interested in getting videos from. So it doesn't have to be from my channel, of course. For others, if you're trying to see why you're not getting any notifications across the board, that could be the issue. So I thought I'd help out and let you know there that YouTube tries to help you by going in there to the settings. So check it out, and I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Taurians, and love and light.